Hey everybody, welcome in. We're in an interesting stream today. We're going behind the scenes with editing. My comprehensive gunner guide. I've got some of the DRG theme music playing in the background here. Pardon me a moment. No, I can do that later. Yeah, just messing with stuff, but just looking at my audio volume, but yeah, we're going live with the editing. We're going behind the scenes. I'm going to show you guys how I've been editing this thing and some of the new skills that I've been getting that, thanks to Access Chronos showing me around DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, we're going to see what's going on here. Yeah, I threw on the DRG soundtrack. So we have some background music. If the music is too loud or too quiet, let me know. I'll also be pausing it if we are, like, looking through footage, because I need to be able to hear it. Oh, jeez. Oops. Hey, Shiki! Welcome in, my dude. Alright, so where I left off last time I was working on it was here. I had just finished up with the minigun. So these down a little bit. Yeah, so last night I was taking some notes on what kind of stuff I wanted to do with you guys today. So this will be fun. So yeah, this is DaVinci Resolve. This software is even used to make movies. For those of you who are unfamiliar with it, like, they make some very crazy things in this software, and it's completely free to use. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, Shiki. Hope you're doing good. Alright. So, yeah, and like I said, I'll be showing you guys, like, how I edit in this program. A couple of real basic things you can do with it. Like what Access showed me. I'm going to show you guys how I get down to... You can be frame specific with this. Like, you can get down to the frame in DaVinci Resolve. You can be that precise with your placement. And I'll show you guys how I gather my footage, how I assess it, analyze it, and how I get the clips in. Doing good to you? Yeah. Hope you're doing good, Shiki. I'm doing pretty good. Good enough, at least. But, you know... Still waiting to hear back to see if I'm gonna get a new job, but... Alright. So, this is the segment for Leadstorm right here, as you guys can see with the name of the clip. This is the voiceover right here, so there's no video clip underneath it yet. And that's the first thing I'm gonna show you guys how I do. So I went in and found some footage of... the segments for Leadstorm that I want to showcase here. Alright, so I'll pause the music, because then I'm going to show you guys how I looked at this. I have OBS set to record my entire display, just so that it's easier for me to showcase a lot of this stuff. Okay, where's the Leadstorm clip? I have to find it. Okay. Oops. That's not what I want to do. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to close down DaVinci and put it here. Wait, I'm not copying it to my desktop. No! Oh god, computer! Oh, now I realize what I'm doing. I have to do it like this. Okay, so this... I have to, like, let it start playing first, then drag it. That's... Oh, okay, so there's my first blunder of this showcase here. So, this is the clip that I conveniently named Minigun Leadstorm, because this is the Leadstorm overclock that I used for this video, or that I'm using for this part of the video. And so I've got some notes down here for what segments I wanted to pull.
Greasy meatball.
The vast majority of the footage is getting cut out because it's like in between stuff. Like in between fights, in between egg hordes, or I did a few point extractions, so like the in-between segments of all of those I skipped. I wanted to focus on the guns, primarily, obviously, because that's what this video is. It's a guide to the weapons of the gunner class and the overclocks. So what I have here for Leadstorm, and what I generally look for is... what I'm generally looking for in these clips is somewhat extended firing segments. Now, what does that mean? So, what that means is I'm looking for continuous firing segments, or near continuous, kind of like this. You know, I knocked out the 2 sentinels in that piece. Now there's a bit of a lull period because the Hive Guard has not arrived on scene yet. So I went in and I notated what time that was. So let me back it up a little. So you may or may not be able to see the timeline here. So I wrote down from the, back it up slightly again. So I wrote down from 4 minutes and 40 seconds until about 4 minutes and 51. That's an 11-second piece. Now, I've got all my segments mapped out here throughout the entire guide and how much footage I need for each segment. For Leadstorm, I need 1 minute and 56 seconds in total, spread out across all the segments that I grab. So that's why I notate from what time to what time and how many seconds it is, so then I can go back in and clip it out. Brr, intensified. Yep. So then there's another one that was really good for this piece, for the Hive Guard. I wanted to get segments from both Dreadnoughts. Especially because with Leadstorm, I'm talking about how to mitigate the downside of not being able to move. And so this, from about 5:32, which is where we are now, you can see me starting to bunny hop around the Hive Guard. This was a good piece. And I wanted to keep this. And I wanted to showcase the sheer damage that Leadstorm can dish out.
Rock and stone to the
And then there it is. And then there is that brief lull of a couple seconds, but then I'm starting to shoot the Sentinels again. Because they have spawned. However, there was a segment here where the 3rd Sentinel was kind of absent. So we are waiting a bit. I'm going to back it up slightly. I'm going to forward it slightly and then back it up. And then around that point right there, 6:32, is when the 2nd Sentinel spawned. And then this is the remainder of the Hive Guard battle, right here. So we're actually going to skip ahead to the next piece here. We're going to go to the 9-minute 20-second mark of the clip. Let's see if I can find... I can't really see it when the video is paused, so I have to... Okay, so we're close. Yeah, so that's just the regular grunts. Okay, so right about here, it's after he did the ground slam. So it was right about here, at 9:26, that's when I dove in to start the bunny hopping process. As you guys can see here, it's a beautiful showcase of the bunny hop. And I'm just continuously jumping around him the entire time. Because that's a significant downside to Leadstorm, so I wanted to showcase how you can mitigate that. And there's the damage. And that's the bunny hopping at its finest. And it's pretty continuous, actually. It's not like the Hive Guard where we... it's not like the Hive Guard where we have to kill the Sentinels over and over again. And he's down.
You can stop now. You can stop.
Alright, so that is, you know, the kind of stuff that I'm looking for Not bothering with the background this time. It's already a 300 by 300. Hey, Grimace, how you doing? Okay, so back to DaVinci. So we're gonna go back there. I've got my notes. So I've got a few options here. Because I need 1:56 worth of footage for this clip, for this segment of the video. The first clip was 11 seconds. The second was 40, so that's 51. And if I use the 1:03 segment from the OG, that's what, 1:54? Right? I'm pretty sure. Well, let me put the music back on for a little bit. I'm pretty sure that's what it would be. Let me get out a calculator. I also have a handy dandy website that I've been using called Time and Date Calculator that's helped me figure out some of these little things. So I'm actually going to pull it up and do it. So if I do 11... Well, 11 plus 40 is 51, so I'm going to put in 51. And then I'm going to add 1:03 to this. Okay, so that's 1:54, so I just have to back up. Maybe I'll bring back the OG segment a couple seconds, because then I can fill in the gap. So I'll go 9:24, and this is where I get my notes. I've got this handy-dandy journal, Pog. There's a lot of notes in here, good couple dozen pages, and then I've also got this. Let me show you guys this, and what I mean by this is is a bunch of notes. This is my original note sheet right here. This like sheet of paper, this bundle of sheets of paper is my original note set when I was first designing this project. So there's a lot of notes that I have for this. Yeah, so I literally need to plug a gap of 2 seconds. So I'm gonna back up the OG segment by 2, and then that will be my coverage. So I'm gonna write 9 minutes 24 seconds to fix a 2-second difference, 2-second shortage. Just so that I can remember when I go back into the editor. And I handwrite all my notes. Like, you'd be surprised. I handwrite everything for this. It is absolutely critical that I get this right. Because this is too valuable of a project to not be perfectly on point. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the Leadstorm clip into DaVinci. And the first thing I'm going to do is drag this out. That's technically the audio, and cut it. Because, you know, I'm going to have music, and I'm going to have my voiceover in there. So I don't really need the extra interference of the clip's music. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in really tight. You can get pretty tight with this. You can go down to the frame. You can get that precise with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip down the clip. I'm going to go down the line here. And I'm going to find the 4-minute 40-second mark, and another migraine lull. I'm kidding. Hey, Grand Lord, how you doing? I'm gonna zoom out slightly so I can see it better. There we go. Okay, so I gotta go that way more. 440. Aha! And see, this is where I'm gonna get picky. I can get very picky with this. Yeah, I can literally take the slider and move it. If you guys look here... Oh. I don't know why there's a video 6, but... Let's get rid of that. Let's delete that one. That one's extra. So you guys can see... if you look above, you can't really see my mouse, but if you look above where it says, like, disable video track, auto track selector, you can see the clock. And that's exactly where this red bar is. If you zoom in far enough, you can literally adjust it by the frame. And you can see how that looks when you drag it along the editor. So I'm gonna get picky, and I'm gonna go exactly to 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And then you pull this tool, kind of like, it looks like a razor. It actually says blade on it. And then and then there's a tool called the magnet that lets like snap to a certain point. Let me actually undo it so I can show you guys again. So with the razor, without the magnet, it's really hard to time it. It's a lot easier if you use the magnet, because then it snaps into place. Just like that. And then you click it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that segment out of the video. And then I'm going to go find the 4 minute 51 second point and do the same thing. I'm going to go down to the frame because I'm being picky. And I'm going to do this. Now, I'm not going to delete this segment, though, because I've got a couple segments that I need to pull. The point of last lunch period after that till at least like 2:30. Nice. Alright, so that's another cut. And now I need to skip up to the 5 minute 32 second mark of this clip. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna grab the mouse tool so that I don't accidentally cut something that I don't mean to. I'm gonna scroll along the timeline until I find 5:32. I'm gonna do this. Boop. And now I can scooch over a tad and delete this segment here. Because then we can go back and see that that segment here is intact, and it's because of the blade that I cut it at such a precise place. It preserves the other clip. Let me turn this down. Why does this keep moving? The music has gone rogue here, guys. Alright, and then it was until the 6 minute 12 second mark. That's a 40-second clip. Ignore everything you're seeing here. I move the clips to the front so that it's easier to edit. And then I move... Wow, that was perfect. Perfect shot. Alright. So that was 5:32 to 6:12. Now we're gonna skip all the way to the 9 minute point. Where was it? 9:24, because we need to plug a gap. Oh, we're getting close. Alright, cool. And then you can click the timeline up here to move that red bar, so then it's easier to get it where you want it. Gonna cut out that segment there. And then we're gonna go up to 10 minutes and 29 seconds. So we're gonna go here. Okay, so it's probably in this vicinity. Alright. Yep, good old rockin' stone right there at the end. Alright, and then we're gonna clip this one out. Hold on 1 second here. See if I can figure out why the music is going rogue. It's like adjusting itself. Let me see if I can check. We'll see what happens here. I'll keep an eye on it. Okay, well now that we've got our clips, let's plug them into the video. So we're gonna zoom out pretty far here for this. And we're gonna look for the Minigun Leadstorm segment, which conveniently is actually right here. Pretty close. So we're gonna take those clips, we're gonna zoom in slightly so that it's easier to grab them. And then we are going to move them. If you've got enough video tracks, you can actually scroll up and down like this, which is pretty wicked. Okay. How goes the editing, though? Yeah, it's good so far. I'm just hanging out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disable the magnet, and then I'm gonna move the clips down, like so that they're easier to grab. Alright, so now I can scroll over a little bit. I don't think we need this audio track. So now we can just plunk them right in. Again, keeping the magnet off. We're actually going to turn the magnet on now, actually, to make sure that they snap together. Because we want the transitions to be smooth when I go to add them. So I'm going to make sure that they snap together and that they match. And that they are good. And then I can zoom in to verify that the tracks are good. I may have to back it up slightly. Kind of like this. There. And then now it fits neatly underneath the Minigun Leadstorm voiceover. Pretty wicked, eh? But you know, just seeing the footage, that's kind of boring. Well, not that it is, but we're gonna add the build on screen, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do that. So I found some, so in my notes that I have here, oops, actually no, I need that. There's another clue? Oh, never mind. I know what it is. Okay. So we're gonna head into the Minigun Leadstorm segment here. And we're gonna find the 10-minute, 51-second mark. Some of these notes I already did so that we could have something to start with, right? And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the razor, and I'm not gonna put it up here. I'm actually gonna put it down here on the clip, and I'll show you guys why. And then I'm also gonna go up to the 11-minute, 6-second mark. Which actually goes into the next segment. Which shouldn't be an issue, I don't think. Yeah, let's take a look. And we'll find out. So from here, from 10 minutes 51 seconds to 11 minutes 6 seconds, we're gonna blur in the build. So how are we doing that? If you guys see my mouse over here, I'm hovering over the Gaussian blur. This is the one that Axis showed me. So what you do with this is you just click and drag it onto the clip that you want to put it on. And then when we go to watch it, right here, you guys will see it blurs the background. So that's what's going to allow me to showcase the build on screen while still having the battle going on in the background, or whatever else happens to be there. Sometimes it's non-firing footage just because I needed a bit of a filler to plug the gap, so to speak. So then for the build, I have a separate folder with all of my, all the builds. So we're gonna pull in Leadstorm. We're just gonna plunk it right in at this point. We're gonna bring it up to 1051, and we're gonna drag it like this, like we did with that video clip, up to here. So then it's present for the entire segment. Now, obviously, this is way too large. We don't need the entire screen to be taken up by this. So I'm gonna zoom out again here a bit. And we're gonna take a look at a previous segment where I shrunk it by a bit, it's actually by a good bit, and then I also moved it off to the side. I kind of have a bit of a set system. I've started to develop one. And so now I have that. Well, now I also want to show the build, or not the build, the overclock and the statistics for it from the wiki page. So I'm going to pull up another image, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to line it up, and we're also going to do the same thing that we did. I'm going to use the previous one, Bullet Hell, as an example to remember how I did this. So we're going to shrink it down. Computer, are you going rogue? No, I got it. I got it. And then we're also going to move it over so that it's not obstructing the build. And so there you go. There's our build, and there's our overclock stats. Now, this is what irks me. I'll show you guys why I don't like this right now. I'll zoom in a little bit so that it's easier to see. And like the timeline likes to go rogue. So here's the problem with the way things are, and this is why we edit. There we go. So let's back it up a little. Let's back up the clip. Let's turn off the magnet. And we're gonna play it. It kind of just immediately comes on the screen. I dislike that. That's annoying to me. And then, all the same, it fades just like that. I dislike that, so we're gonna edit. And we're gonna add some transitions. We're gonna make it look really smooth. So because I've got a system going, I'm actually going to copy and paste the cross-dissolve effect onto these. And we're going to see them fade in. You can do this for fading in and fading out. You can do it for both. And that's what I'm going to do here, is I'm just going to copy and paste my little slight formatting. So this is better. Let's do that clip again. What we just did. And so that's better. But the Gaussian blur still comes in very quickly. So we're also going to edit the Gaussian blur and let it come in gradually as well. Because the Gaussian blur comes in and out very quickly. So we're going to do the same thing and copy over a cross-dissolve from the video clip. I kind of have it mostly the same, but I want to make sure that it's good, so I'm going to just copy and paste. And so what we do here is we put it on this end. I'm also going to put one here. And then we'll see how much better it looks. So watch this. And now you can see the fading is really smooth. It's very silky. It's almost flawless. It's beautiful. This is much better, and it only takes a few clicks to do it. And look at that. That is some gorgeous work. Now, how do you add a cross dissolve? Well, that's easy. You just right-click. You go over to a segment that you want. And then you see this little kind of half blade. Kind of looks like a half razor. You right-click, and then you can either copy and paste a previous cross dissolve that you did if you change like the defaults or whatever, or you can add one. And you can do that. However, I liked the one that I designed, so I'm gonna remove that. But that's how you would start with the cross dissolve. So there we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy and paste this cross dissolve into some of the other clips so that the transition is smoother. Because I have it set to fade in and out, so it kind of blends better, I think. And so we're going to do that for each piece. Now, sometimes if you do this and you're at the end, it'll fade to black before the next clip appears. And I don't like that, so I add the clips first. So I'm going to zoom out so that it's easier to see the timeline. And then we can also go back and see what else we have done in the past. Yeah, we can see that we're all there. I do have a couple basic segments that I need to grab yet, but this is what I've done so far. I've made a significant amount of progress with this project. It's kind of nuts how much better this looks after Axis Chronos took the time to show me around DaVinci Resolve. Like, this is a much better video editor than what I was using before. And yeah, that's where we are, is here. So now we've got, we're done with Leadstorm. We've established that segment. Now we are gonna move on to the autocannon. I've got some notes for the autocannon. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Pardon that brief interruption. So, yeah, we're gonna do the same thing. It's kind of a slight rinse and repeat because I wanted to have a standardized system for how I conducted this project while also still making it look good, you know? I don't want to stress myself and go way over my head and just completely... I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but... I'm sure you guys know what I mean, though. Like, I don't want to go in way over my head with this, as valuable of a project as this is to me. Alright, so now I've got the footage. So we're going to go ahead and just yank it for the autocannon. That first one, I wanted to show you guys how I gathered it. So we're going to head back to the beginning of the timeline. We're going to grab the autocannon non-overclock set. And I'm going to drag it slightly out and cut the audio. And just get rid of it. And I've actually, this is actually a thing where I can show you guys how I gather my footage. I have some notes here on doing that. So we're gonna explore that as part of the behind the scenes view. So there's only one main clip that I got out of this one, but it's a pretty beefy one. It's a pretty significant one. It goes from 4 minutes and 42 seconds, so I need to zoom in a little bit more. Because I'm picky. Because I'm very picky and want to get down to the frame. I want to get down to frame-specific precision here. Because I can. Well, actually, I have a note here to pull back to 4 minutes and 36 seconds because between the footage that I want to gather and what I have, there's a 6-second difference. So we're actually going to yank it back to 4:36. Come on. Come on. No! I'm going to be picky. I'm going to be picky. Even though it's probably not necessary, I'm going to be picky. Come on. There we go. Alright. Okay, so we're gonna cut that segment out and we're gonna move to 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So we're gonna move up the clip a little bit. Ooh, that's a little too far. There we go. Let's turn off the magnet for a second. Alright, so we've got that. Turn the magnet back on. Boop. Okay, so we've got that. So we can clip out the rest. And we're gonna go ahead and plunk it into the video because, you know, we have it and... yeah, we're gonna move it down. Zoom in a tad. Maybe a little bit more. That's a little bit too much. Yeah, it's very adjustable, the zoom on the projects. There we go. So we've got that. We're gonna make sure it snaps. Good. We are good. And we're gonna go ahead and add that cross dissolve from the previous one, just so that the transition is smooth. We're gonna grab it. Gonna make sure, copy and paste. We're gonna do that. We're gonna check it. And look at that. That is beautiful. Alright, so now I'm gonna pause the music and we're gonna hop on DRG actually. And we're gonna do some live recording. Oops. Real quickly though, we are going to save it. Even though DaVinci Resolve does automatically save things, I still prefer to do it anyway. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and pause the music and we're gonna hop on Deep Rock. Oh, we're just at the end of the clip. Alright, cool. Okay, so we're hopping on Deep Rock. Yeah, so we're gonna do some live recording. So what I'm looking for is... or what I'm gonna do...
Rinse, repeat.
That's right, Gunner. But alright, so now that we're on Deep Rock... so what I have in mind is for the autocannon... because we're on the segment without overclocks, I think all 3 tier 5 mods can go with that build. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off. I'm gonna verify what my build was before we start recording, because I want the build to be accurate like I described it. I do have my notes. I've got all my builds, all my overclocks set up. I just gotta find the autocannon. Of course, it's in the middle. No, that's not it. That's too far back. Oh, there we go. Alright, so now I've got my notes. So, without overclocks, what do I have? Oh, I actually have this set up. Cool. Alright, so that's easy. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna get little brief clips of all 3 of these. They're not gonna be very long. But I want to be able to showcase them in the video because I discussed them individually in their own miniature segments. So we're going to go ahead and start with feedback loop. We're just going to go down the line. We're not going to complete the mission because that's not necessary. It's not necessary to do that. We just need brief segments of these tier 5 mods. Feedback loop, suppressive fire, and damage resistance. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna leave my pen there as a marker. So we're gonna start with feedback loop. Like I said, we can kind of run whatever else. It doesn't really matter. So let's do... you know, feedback loop would actually be good here. Let's go Hazard 5 because we want to be able to see it.
Different day, eh, guys? let's get this done with. I'm hungry.
Normally I don't do Hazard 5, but sometimes it is better. Sometimes Hazard 5 is better because there's more bugs involved if I need to showcase things. So here we go. We're gonna dive in. No, I didn't see anything about the heads crevice. That's unfortunate. Alright, so this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a solid, 15, 20 second segment of feedback loop. So we need to get to maximum rate of fire in order to do this. I'm going to start the recording. My voice is not going to be in it because it's going to get clipped. Oh, we dropped on something.
If we survive, next round is on me. Bosco!
That's a bulk. I can ping that menace. He's stuck behind the thing, though. And he runs away. Alright, that's fine.
Collecting Aquarks, team. You know, the big glowy blue ones? Oh, not to alarm you.
I'm gonna grab my secondary just to get rid of the Mactera. Whoa.
Definitely hear the
There
mining
we go.
when it lands, so judging by the data, it will take about 15 minutes for them to be right on top of you, so don't stop.
Yeah, this may take a minute to... We may have to wait for the first horde to get a solid segment of this.
Support fire, please!
Oh dang, nice shot, Bosco. Let's grab that sugar. Yeah, we may have to wait a bit before we can get the clip that I'm looking for. Crash this detonator. Yeah, I was gonna say, we got a detonator somewhere on the map. Let's see if I can find it and then have Bosco just shoot at it. Yeah, grab some nitra. I don't think we're really gonna need it, but I'm gonna grab it anyway. Alright, let's find that thing and... There it is.
Fire!
It's gonna take him a while to kill it, but whatever. Alright, that or we just need some more bugs. Okay. We're probably gonna be sitting here for a minute. Or I hear some bugs coming.
No
Oh,
fear,
nice!
ready.
Look at that. Alright. Although I do still think a horde is gonna be better, so we're gonna wait for that. It's pretty quick on Aquark missions though, so we should be able to get one pretty quickly. Yeah, let's see if I can get rid of the Stabber Vine, have a little bit more room. Oh, he's right on top of me, isn't he? Probably is. Oh, he wasn't. There we go. Now he's just sitting by the rig, so that's fine. Yeah, I need a solid segment of about 15 seconds or so.
Watch the fire!
I mean, I guess I could have also done an egg mission and just pulled eggs until I got something, but eh. I kind of want to have a little bit of variety at least in the footage, so I didn't want it to be like all egg missions, all Aquark missions. You guys know what I mean. Maybe we'll do an egg mission for one of these. Maybe Fear. That'd be a good one for Fear, actually. A good backdrop, you could say. Oh, come on. Yeah, not that I think I'm gonna need it, but...
Incendiary grenade!
Bugs! Bugs, 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 bugs!
Beautiful. Alright, back to the rig. We're just gonna hang on in that area. Oh! That's a spreader. I can hear it above me. Alright, let's get into a good position where there's light. Now see, this is what I was looking for. Is something like this. Now that is gorgeous. Right there. And that's basically it. Alright, so we can abort this mission. We've got the segment we need.
Shield's ready again.
We'll go ahead and analyze it in a minute, but I will go ahead and rename that clip so that we know. I'm going to call it feedback loop, and I'm going to put it in the footage folder. Okay. So now we are going to move on to fear. We're going to do suppressive fire. So we're kind of going to do the same thing we just did, except we're going to switch what tier 5 mod we are using, and we're going to head back in. Yeah, rinse and repeat a little.
Wait. This one's not on my list.
What do you mean? Of course it's on your list, Servant. We're doing it. Alright, so... yeah, now this is a better mission for suppressive fire. And no, we are not using neurotoxin payload here. I've already got footage for that. Alright, so we're going to start the recording again. And we're going to look for a solid segment, roughly the same length. Maybe a little bit shorter, of the fear effect in action.
Attack there.
Got a shopping list for you boys. And no, there's no milk or toilet paper on it. Just eggs. Glyph
A shopping list!
Go steal a few and bring them back to the rig. The cafeteria is running low, and I'm sure you're as sick of nutrient paste and protein bricks as I am. Get going.
Okay, so let's start pulling eggs right away. Maybe make this segment a little bit shorter. There do we got some eggs. And I'll stay up here. I'll clear up the area a bit, though.
I really can't use this for anything.
Just to make it easier to move. Alright, now I have Bosco mainly tasked with egg collection. Molly, you sit over here.
Okay.
You get out of the way, my friend.
This is fun. Go fetch.
Alright, Bosco's, let's grab some eggs and get moving. There's a spitballer up there. Alright, bugs! Alright. Not the horde egg, but that's not necessary. This and then there is suppressive fire.
I'm a bullet in the fight.
Alright, that's beautiful. So we have that segment. We're gonna go ahead and stop the recording, and we're gonna abort the mission. We're gonna head back to the space rig. And I'm gonna go ahead and name this Suppressive Fire, and I'm gonna put that in the same spot in the footage folder. And now we're gonna go ahead and repeat what we just did, but for damage resistance at full rate of fire. And then we're gonna go ahead and edit those down and get them plunked together. And then we'll add the build, we'll add, everything else that we need. And then we will move on to combat mobility, which is the first overclock that we are exploring. So let's do, a salvage op wouldn't be too bad.
Trajectory calculated. I'll try to land you closer to your objective this time. No promises, though.
Alright, so obviously with damage resistance, we're gonna be looking for footage of the bugs physically attacking me and showing the damage resistance when the autocannon is fully spun up and firing. Yeah, we are making good progress here. Yeah, I really wanted to stream today, but I also know I need to get my editing done, so I'm like, you know what? I'll kill two birds with one stone. I'll do a behind-the-scenes editing stream and do my work at the same time.
This mission right here is a good reminder to always triple-check your drop pod before heading out on a mission. This team didn't have fully charged fuel cells and some faulty wiring in the navigation systems. I'll let you guess how that played out for them.
Yeah, that probably didn't play out too well. Servant did it. Okay. Do-do-do-do-do. Speedy mining. Yeah, so we're going to be looking to trigger the bugs, which is why salvage is another good mission for this. Because there's usually a consistent bunch of bugs. Let's see, I may have to back up a little.
Focus fire here. Come here, you noise, man.
See if I can get the bugs to attack me. Yeah, you can see the amount of damage I'm taking from the acid pools is significantly lower than it would be normally. For part of this, I may end up having to fade in a couple segments. Yeah, like the damage is cut significantly. It barely even broke my shield, that first shot. I'm gonna see if I can get back up to full health. Or not. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna see if I can heal. And get back up to full health. There's a couple of spreaders around. And now there are spitballers. This may be a reset. I may have to try a second time. Yeah, this is gonna be a reset. I'm gonna have to start again. It's not gonna work. And that's not really an issue. I have to reset pretty frequently because I'm kind of picky about what kind of footage I want for this. Yo, Dux, how you doing, my dude? Are you editing or playing? I'm confused. Well, I'm actually doing both. Dux, what I'm doing is I'm showcasing in this behind-the-scenes stream how I gather my footage and how I assess it. So it's kind of part of it. Alright, let's try that again.
Rock and Stone team, drop pod prepped.
I have been editing, yeah, before you came in. I'm not sure exactly when you popped in. It sounds like you may have just popped in now. Yeah, we'll get to the editing in a second here, actually. Perfect timing for you to get here. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is I'm going for footage of the 3 Tier 5 mods on the autocannon, the gunner class's second primary, because I want to showcase that in the comprehensive gunner guide.
If we survive, next round is on me.
One of the mods that it has is damage resistance at full rate of fire, which is pretty much how the name implies.
Watch out when you get near those mini mill legs, by the way. The Glyphids tend to see those
You
as prey
take
items and will be
50%
very
less damage
territorial
from
when they sense
all
you near them.
sources
Brace for a
while
storm at any time.
that is active if you are at maximum rate of fire. Because the autocannon is a little bit odd in that it increases its rate of fire over time. It does not start out at full rate of fire when you start shooting it. I'll even showcase it here real briefly for you. If you see that shield symbol in the middle of the screen, that's how you know you're at full rate of fire in the terms of this particular Tier 5 mod.
I need support.
Is this detonator? Wait, we got a detonator? I didn't hear one. Alright, so what I'm going to be looking for here is I want to gather up the bugs. And I want to showcase taking less damage while the rate of fire is maximized. Of course, it's not foolproof, but it is significantly lower. That probably was not a good time to throw it on my shield, actually, but... This might take a little bit more effort.
Shield charged.
Yeah, I may have to think about this. This one might be a little bit weird to try and get good footage of, because I'm gonna die. Probably.
Access provided.
And of course there's a leech there. Well, that's an insult to injury right there.
Thanks, Bosco.
Oh, that was quick. Was not expecting it to be that fast. Okay. Let's see if I can
Clear them out.
dash over the crowd.
Take care of it.
Okay, this is gonna be a reset. Yeah, this one's gonna be tricky, I think. I may end up needing a couple of smaller clips for this one, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to get a continuous shot. Just trying to think here how I would do this. And this is part of what I wanted to showcase, Dux, is how I think about it. And how I think about the gathering of the footage. So this is just an example of me thinking that I might need multiple smaller clips to combine
powering up.
into one for the damage resistance modification.
Rock on.
Which to me is fine, because I'm realizing that I'm not going to get a continuous one for like 15, 16 seconds. Like, I'm going to die before that happens. So, I need to figure out what I'm willing to do. Things worse than it smells. Hey, Grandlord.
None can stand before.
Alright, so take 3. Let's look for a couple smaller segments for this. That's what I'm going to be looking for here.
Next round is on me.
Routine salvage job, guys. Start looking for those mini mules. It's a bit morbid that we're so used to doing these by now, but that's life on Hoxie's 4, I suppose.
Alright, so I'm going to be looking to gather Nitra, because I'm going to need probably multiple downs in order to get good shots. And I want to be able to get back up to full health. And a resupply is a good way to do that if you got the resupplier mod. Or the resupplier
Flares.
perk, rather.
Charging. Loot bug looted.
Okay. Right, so the wall is kind of over here. Alright, Molly, stay put
Just
down
take
here.
your sweet time, old lady. I've got all day.
Yeah, let's grab this Nitra.
Time to find Molly.
And then, of course, my bag is full, so I have
I
to
think we're
deposit.
actually doing all right so far.
Ooh-doo-doo. Okay.
Loot bug down.
Alright, so the dirt wall is, looks like it's up there. It's kind of in a weird spot, but that's just Deep Rock. Deep Rock Cave Gen. Okay. Now let's deposit all of this and move on.
It's like she's
We're almost at a
bigger on the
resupply
inside.
already, which is good. Bosco, is it up there? I think so. Yeah. And if you're playing in solo, fun fact, Dux, if you're still here, you have this little drone.
Bosco, buddy.
His name is Bosco. He follows you around. You can have him mine things. You can have him attack things. Or you can have him provide you with a light source.
Light it up.
So that's what I'm having him do. Alright. Molly, come here. And then Molly is the mule. She's following me around. She's like my mobile deposit source. That's where I can put all my stuff. There's a couple missions that don't have her, but you have a central deposit point, so you can still like put down your stuff, so you can call resupplies and gather materials. Whoa! What just happened? Oh! There's a crowd of bugs that are spawning right behind me.
What's that?
That's the sting pill. Alright, get rid of him. And that's a nemesis bot. Great. I gotta deal with him. Or I'll have Bosco deal with him instead. I'm completely clueless about this game, but I didn't want to ask since you're gathering footage. Dude, Dux, if you have any questions about Deep Rock, seriously, like, just ask. I don't care. I'll answer whatever I can, man. It's not going to end up in the footage in the video anyway because I'm going to be muting the background noise. It's literally just going to be the video. Yeah, it's just going to be the video. Yeah, it's not going to be. It's not like you asking me a question and me answering it is going to make it into the guide. It's not. So. Oh shoot. Yeah, this cave gen is a little bit weird. I'm gonna dig through the wall. There we go.
Shoot it.
Let's get that thing out of here first. I'll help Bosco with it. You get a zip line down. There's a bunch of bugs inbound.
Off the loop bump. Let's get the minerals.
There we go. Alright, we're gonna back up a little bit.
Oh yeah. Incendiary moves.
Well, that might actually be okay. It's like a mini segment.
Thanks, Bosco.
But then again, I'm immune to damage for a little bit after I respawn. Right, so now I need to run.
I am scared, you maggots.
And this is the tricky part because I don't have a resupply, as I can't, I can't heal back up to full HP, and I only have 3 downs. Oh god. If you see a Nemesis bot, you just need to run because they are real devastating little suckers. Well, they're big because they fly around, but... How did he still hit me? And there's more of them. Oh god. Oh jeez.
You are not welcome in my heart.
I'm looking around. What the heck? This is crazy.
Turning up the
Even for Hazard 5, it's not usually this... Well, it can be that nuts, actually, but... Yeah... Maybe I need a different mission type or something. So this will be like a solo guide or just generally how to play Gunner. This is gonna be a generalist guide, Docs. I'm making a general guide on how to play Gunner. Because Gunner is my favorite class in the game, so I wanted to make a comprehensive guide for new players, especially, to learn how to play him. Because he's got his own unique strengths, he brings a lot to the team. And I want to showcase those strengths and just help out the new people. Help out the new players on how to play the Gunner class, because they're all unique. Yeah, maybe I just need to... That or I need to bump the hazard level down. Maybe I bump the hazard level down to 4, because I think 5 is a little too high with what I'm trying to do. That might actually help me get a better segment.
I don't know, that one looks a little
I typically play most missions on hazard 4,
really.
like
Drop
just
pod ready.
normally. Let's try this.
He dies.
So I know what I'm going for, but... And this is my thinking on the fly, Dux, when I'm gathering footage or reviewing footage and possibly needing to assess for more. It's like, what do I have? What do I need? And do I care about certain stuff, or do I not? Like, what am I willing to give up, basically, if anything? Because some stuff I'm willing to give up and concede to. Alright, let's try again.
If we survive, next round is on me.
Ever wonder what happens?
And it may
when
actually
this
help
doesn't
me
make it
with
back?
longevity, being
Well,
able to get
here
a
it
longer
is.
segment.
We lost contact
If
with
I
this team
bump the
of
hazard level
48
down.
hours ago, and all we're picking up on scanners is derelict gear and radio static. I try not to think about it too much. Get in there, salvage what you can of their gear, and get it all home with the drop pod.
So yeah, Dux, with the hazard levels, just a real brief synopsis there. They are conveniently numbered 1 through 5, with 5 being obviously the highest. Obviously they affect the difficulty of the game, they affect how bulky the bugs are, they affect how many spawn. It influences a lot of stuff. And there are 7 mission types. No, there's actually 8. Yeah, there's actually 8. I've already done guides for all 8 mission types. I have a playlist for those.
What are these? Mules for gnomes? You know what? Don't answer that question.
Ooh.
I ordered a resupply.
You know what? Maybe I won't send supplies this time, since someone never wants to listen to me about keeping
Oh, this is
barrels into the
beautiful.
launch tube.
I got a pizza here.
Supplies incoming.
Now that is gorgeous.
Feeling much better now.
That was gorgeous, right there. The voice acting in this game is something... Well, I have a mod on for it, actually, Dux. This is actually a mod. You can mod this game pretty heavily. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with it.
Stings worse than it's on now.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna stay in the goo. Yeah, the voice actor that you're hearing right now is, at least for mission control, is Sirvend. He is another DRG content creator, actually, and he completely reworked mission control and voiced the lines himself. So you can actually hear some different voice lines, if you would like. There's mods for, like, everything. You may have heard Ayo the Pizza here when the resupply dropped. That's another mod. And it's not just audio mods, there's also visual ones, like I give the bugs sunglasses, because I think that's hilarious. That's a mod by Hand Drawn Nerd, another DRG creator. It's originally googly eyes, but there is an option for sunglasses. And I like sunglasses because I think it's funny.
Taste the pickaxe.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, people have created all sorts of crazy mods for this game. There's even a group of people, Dux, that made a virtual reality mod. You can play Deep Rock in VR. It is insane. I have tried it and I love it because I can literally pull the gun off my hip and aim with it and shoot it. I love VR. Virtual reality is a totally different experience. What? Yeah, there's a VR mod. There's a VR mod. Yeah. It's a little bit it's a little bit of setup required, but yeah, you can. And you can mine in VR too for free. Yeah, it's free. It's free, ducks. Free VR. The Ghost Ship Games, the creator of the game, they added a VR plugin for if someone wanted to try and make it VR, and someone did. Sounded a bit home recorded. Oh yeah, no, Sirvin recorded all the voice lines himself. Totally on his own. Yeah, it's a blast. And it's so lifelike and crazy. Like, you can look the dreadnoughts in the eye in VR. It is so freaky looking at them, especially the leeches. I have looked up, like, on purpose just to see what it's like to see a leech, and it's just so freaky when I got my VR headset on. It is so freaky having it on. It is nuts. Alright, I think this is gonna be my best clip, or my best mission to... Yeah, get the goo bomber out of here, Bosco. I'll worry about the other bugs. Looks like the pod is down that way. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. I like this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to back up a little bit to reload. And a good old rock and stone.
There's no tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll do a little bit more just to make sure, and then we can assess the footage in a little bit. To see what segment I'm gonna pull. I like to have a few options because I never know. It's really hard to tell exactly how long a segment actually is when I'm recording it. So that's why I like to get more than one, so then I can pick and choose.
Light for me, please.
And then we'll go ahead and... Whoop. Yeah, let's put down a shield.
Get into cover.
See if we can get enough for another pod.
That's one mini mule accounted for. Lufitz really did a number on them, huh?
Or if I can grab another piece of sugar, that would be ideal as well. Alright, let's see if I can come down. There we go. Oh yeah, I gotta reload. Should probably reload first. Yeah, so let's head back by the pod. So we've got our damage resistance up. And there we go. Alright, that is beautiful. I think we got a solid thing here. So we're gonna go ahead and exit right to the desktop because we don't need Deep Rock anymore for the time being. So I'm gonna go ahead and rename that clip Damage Resistance. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to assess it. We're gonna assess the footage that we just got and find out a spot to plunk it in. So let's do that. Let's grab feedback loop. Let's find out where that is. It should be alphabetized. At least I hope I put it in the right spot. I have such a mess on my computer. You guys have no idea. Okay, so let's minimize that. We're not going to copy it to the desktop this time. So I know there's me talking, but I'm going to be eliminating the audio, so it's going to be completely mute when we actually do this. My voice is not going to be in it because it's going to get clipped. Oh, we dropped on something.
If we survive, Next round is on me.
So this is for feedback loop. I know we went to the horde phase, so I'm gonna detonator skip it a little bit. Yeah, I need one of these. Alright, let's get into a good position where there's light. Okay, so there's already a problem that I can see with the footage here. It's kind of... Maybe it's because I'm streaming and recording simultaneously that I'm noticing this, but... It's kind of sluggish, and I'm sure you guys can see that. Alright, let's get into a good position where there's light. Now see, this is what I was looking for. Is something like this. Now that is gorgeous. Yeah, doing both can drop the quality. Yeah, we'll see what happens when we get it in the editor. Because we can get a look at that as well. But irregardless, Ducks, that's how I would do it. Well, let's see how it looks, though. Let's try... Okay, so that was like 4:15 or so. Let's drop it in. And we'll see what it looks like when we actually plunk it in. Okay, hold on. It should be going up here. There we go. And yeah, and I have had that issue in the past. Okay, so nothing seems to have been affected. Okay. So we're looking for the 4-minute 15-second mark. And I can redo this later, it's not a huge issue. But I thought it would be cool to be part of the showcase. Going behind the scenes is how I would do it. Alright, so let's zoom in a bit. Oops. A little bit too far. Yeah, I normally try not to stream and record simultaneously unless it's, like, something really weird or unusual, but... Okay, so 4:15... So that's about here. Let's clip that. Let's turn on the magnet. Yeah, let's take a look here. Yeah, so I'll definitely have to do this again later, off stream, but that's how I would do it. So I'll go ahead and delete those clips that I just got. And I'm going to write myself a note to record those off stream. Like I said, though, for those of you who may have just popped in, yeah, that's an F, Ducks, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm gonna write myself a note to do this. We are gonna go ahead and edit with what we have, though. Because we can still blur in the build, we can still do those kinds of things. I'll just have to grab the footage for the 5 or the 3 tier 5 mods at another point. So we will move back to where we were on the timeline with the autocannon, because we can, like I said, we can still do that. There's still something we can do to, like, set up for that footage. So, what do I have for... Let me actually put the music back on. Yeah, let's put the DRG theme music back on here. I don't know how beefy your PC is, but DRG doesn't look like an intense game to run. It's not. DRG is very well optimized, and I do have a... I can actually tell you the specs. I'll actually go ahead and put them in chat, because that'll be easier, because then anyone else in chat can also see. Gotta love optimized games. Yeah, DRG is very, very good. Frame drops are basically non-existent with Deep Rock. Like, I wasn't noticing any when we were recording, but my encoder may have gotten a bit overloaded because I was also streaming. So that's what would explain the poor performance in the recording when we went back to review it. Alright, so I just went ahead and posted my top 3 stats, or computer specs, my core, my processor, my graphics card, and my RAM. Okay, so what do I have for notes here? So this is for... Those are not bad. Yeah, when I built this computer, the core, the processor, was actually considered top of the line. So it can only go up from there. What was part 6? Part 6 was... Okay, so I am on the right... I am in the right spot. Alright, so I need to go to the 13-minute... 4-second mark. So that's like here somewhere. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Alright, I'm gonna get picky about this. Alright, and I'm gonna do that. Let's put the magnet back on. And then we're gonna skip to 13 minutes and 19 seconds, which is a little bit further up. And that's where we're gonna blur in our build. I don't know when you, if you saw me, Dux, doing the blurring, but I'm gonna show you how I do it. So perfect timing for you to still be here for that segment, for how I do this part of the editing. So this is how I do it. I use this Gaussian blur right here, but I'm not going to put it up here because that's going to blur me. So I'm going to put it here. I'm just going to put it, and then you can see when we move over it, the background is blurred out. It's not blacked out, obviously, that'd be bad, but because the footage can still play in the background. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a couple of photos of the autocannon build that I used during this segment. I'm gonna scroll up the timeline a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. Ta-da! Easy. However, as you can see, that is way too large. It is excessive. It is blocking the entire screen. So we don't want that, do we? No, we do not, so... Listen! Gideon. How you doing, dude? Alright, and because this is the non-overclock segment, I'm gonna add this picture. It's just a generalized, you know, this is a build without overclocks kind of thing. Just to kind of symbolize that for the audience to prevent confusion. Again, way too large, so we're gonna shrink it down to a more reasonable size that it can still be read without being obstructive. And I've got a bit of a pattern that I've developed for these. And I don't know what I did for this one, so I'm gonna bump over to the minigun. What did I do here? 0.4 and negative 750. Okay. Yeah, so 0.4, and then the position. And then it moves wherever I want it. And then I believe this one was, what, 600? Okay. So it's kind of off-center, but it, you know, I don't want it to be completely obstructive. There we go. And so then this is how they can link up. And both be on screen when I'm talking about the build. Okay. So, but now, this is a thing, Dux, that I can show you is, so watch what happens when we play through that segment. Right there. It just kind of pops on. I don't like that very much. I dislike, actually. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have it fade instead. And we're gonna have it look smooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab these cross dissolves that I've already used. I kind of got a bit of a template going so that I can make this process a little bit easier. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to plunk them here on both ends of the clip. So then they fade in and out. Transition time. Well, yeah, because otherwise it looks like crap and I don't like it. It's too sharp, you could say. So now, watch this. And now they fade in beautifully. And then as I'm talking about it a little bit, I'm leaving it on there for roughly 10-15 seconds at a time, just to give the viewers enough time to see it. And then it fades back out. Oh yeah, much better. Yeah, it's that simple. However, you may have just noticed that the Gaussian blur that I was using also comes in rather sharply and leaves rather sharply. I don't like that, so not a fan of the fade out though. I mean, maybe that part's not necessary, but I mean, I'm somebody who really likes to have smooth transitions for everything, so. Alright, so what are we going to do about that Gaussian blur? We're going to do the same thing. We're going to copy a different cross dissolve because I have different settings for it. And then we're going to paste it here. And then there, because also at the end. And then now we have a pretty polished little segment here. The blur fades in, and so does the build. You know, brief discussion, brief coverage here. I have it muted so that you guys aren't hearing me say the same thing 20 times as I'm editing, but... and then fades right back out. But yeah, the fading definitely makes it look leagues better. And that's why I love it. Okay. So we are ready for the next segment. Actually, we are gonna move on to part 7, which is combat mobility. The first overclock for the autocannon that we are going to discuss, that I plan to discuss in the guide. So that segment starts here. So I left this area blank on my notes because this is where we're going to assess the footage as a group. I'm going to play the footage and we're going to look for quality segments. I have not done this yet because I did it on purpose so that I could save it. I am going to start writing notes to pull certain clips. I'm going to add that here to my notebook. I'm also going to pause the music that's playing in the background just so that it's not doubling. Alright, so for the combat mobility segment, we need a total of 1 minute and 52 seconds worth of footage in some capacity. Which, we got plenty. I'm anticipating we'll have enough, and even if it's not, like, we may have to just back it up or bring it forward slightly by a few seconds, kind of like how I showed you guys earlier. But we'll start with looking for the more quality segments before we start thinking about, like, adjusting it a little bit. And I already picked out the area where we're gonna blur in the build. So let's go ahead and head to the footage. I'm gonna grab combat mobility. Alright, let me go ahead and pause the music real quick. Cool beans. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the footage as a group.
We're dropping you in a side cavern adjacent to the main atrium room with most of the exit. Watch those wandering creatures down there. The drop pod likely sent
And we're
them
looking
from a friendly
specifically for combat
Tread
mobility.
carefully when you go in. To find those eggs, I'll be in contact.
Sometimes in the beginning segments or in between, I use the other weapons. That's literally just to provide coverage.
Go fetch.
Like, to let me preserve the ammo in the weapon that I'm trying to showcase. So that's the reason for the Bulldog Heavy Revolver usage
Attack.
in that part there. You can hear a menace in the background. Those guys are a-holes. I hate them. A lot of players hate them.
Time to deposit.
So yeah, because I don't know where the quality segments are, I go into these blind as if I don't know.
My bag is full.
And we don't necessarily have to watch the entire clip to get all the footage we need. And then, of course, I knock myself off, like, it's... Yeah, this is the more mundane part of editing, is looking through your footage and trying to find the more quality segments of it. And now that Menace is trying to shoot me.
I've got it for you, you moguls!
And then there's also mods for Team Fortress 2. Like all the different creatures, they have Team Fortress 2 voice actors. Somebody made a mod for that.
You are working vomit.
But yeah, I'm trying to preserve the ammo and the autocannon, so then when we get to the combat mobility segment...
Follow this.
Got him. Alright, get that guy out of the way. Yeah, so I've got my pen. But yeah, we can socialize for a little bit here. I can have my coffee. Yeah, this is usually when I'm chilling out a little bit more. Is when I don't quite have the spot yet for the footage.
Where is that?
I'll kind of just be observing.
Joe, get to work.
And so there is a possible segment. Okay, so where are we in the clip? We are at about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm going to back it up a little, because this may be a clip that I can use. Now, when I make notes to pull clips, I don't use all of them, but I like to have options. So where are we? We are at about 2:33, I think, is when that kind of took place. Yeah, roughly that point. So I'm gonna pause the video there, and I'm gonna make a notation at 2 minutes and 33 seconds to what? Let's take a look at this. Because my goal with combat mobility is to showcase the ability to stay clear of crowds.
Rock and stone.
And of course
to
a good
the
rock
middle.
and stone, which is characteristic of the DRG community. It's just a matter of pressing the V as in Victor key on your keyboard, if you're on mouse and keyboard, I'm not sure what it is for controllers, because I know you can map it. I mean, you can map it on PC too, but it's V by default. So, let's say... Yeah, and I rewatch things a lot, because I want to make sure that I'm precise. So let's go 252, and we'll assess that as a segment candidate. 2 minutes 52, and then I also like to write down what the length of the segment is, especially because I have to fill a specific need, like a specific volume. So and that's part of the reason that I like to get a lot of segments, is what segments are going to get me the volume required to fill the entire piece. So what is 2, 33, 33, 43, wait, 43... So that's 19 seconds. Not bad. That's actually kind of average. Depending on the weapon and the overclock or the situation, it could be greater than that, like what we saw earlier with Leadstorm and the bunny hopping. That segment around the OG Dreadnought was over a minute. So it really depends. Okay, so we have our first candidates.
I was made for mining. Molly
For a
was made
segment.
for hauling what I mine.
Yeah, what's really going to give me the clue is when I start getting the hordes, because we're on an egg hunt mission.
You're dead.
Egg hunts, there are guaranteed hordes, so they're honestly some of my best missions to get footage from, because it's consistent. And same with point extraction missions, like what we did earlier, when I was showcasing how I would gather footage.
Done. I called
Point extraction / a quark missions are very consistent as well. So are salvage missions, so are escort missions. I mean, most missions are pretty consistent, but some are definitely more consistent than others. And are more predictable. Which is what makes them good. And so are salvage missions, because you just run up to the mini-mules on those. So I can hear it. Yeah, right now I'm letting Bosco take care of that spitball infector, because they are very, very annoying. They can hit you. If they can see you, they can basically hit you. Like, no matter how far away you are, you can get sniped by a spitballer. That's how they're commonly referred to in the DRG community, as spitballers. Even despite their technical name being the Spitball Infector. Spitballer is a common shorthand. For those of you who are newer to Deep Rock, or have not played Deep Rock. And what I like to do in a lot of these footages is gather enough nitra, that red rocky material, for a resupply pod.
What's this?
Because then that allows me to have some extra coverage. Oh, we may have another one. Okay, we got a little bit of battle going on here. Possible. I don't know if it's long enough, though. Let's back it up a little bit.
What's this?
So where are we at? About 4:52. How long is a segment? Or how long would it be? That'll be about 10 seconds. I don't really like that. Not for this overclock. I mean, I guess I could extend it to this Praetorian, but... Because what would that be if I went back? What was it, 4:52?
Move your tin ass over here.
Yeah, if I call it at 4:52... Yeah, despite my initial concern and the slight gap, then there's a Praetorian, that larger enemy, that I can still showcase moving around. Yeah, I guess I could make that a potential candidate. Go from 4:52 to like 5:14. What's that one? 52. That's 22 seconds? I think so. Yeah, because 5:02, 5:12, Yeah, that's about 22 seconds. Alright, so that's another candidate. So we're gonna keep going.
Fire!
Yeah, I'm gonna let Bosco address that. And he knocks me off again. The septic spreaders are kind of annoying. They spit acid everywhere in like these big puddles.
Help me with the minerals here.
And so now what I'm doing is I'm triggering multiple eggs at once in an effort to get more bugs. Or was I doing that? No. I wasn't? Oh, I thought I triggered multiple at once in this one. I did, however, call down a pod,
Supply ordered.
because I wanted more
Supply pod
ammo.
inbound. Doing some hole punch mining? Or did Scout get stuck in the ceiling again?
And then I think I got confused as to why Bosco suddenly came back to me. Because you can ping him back. Like, if you press the X key on your keyboard, if you have Bosco doing something, he'll come back to you. He'll stop whatever he was doing. If there are enemies around, though, he will start shooting again, regardless of what is going on.
I need
Man, this is where I was assessing it.
Mining.
I had him shooting a loot bug.
I call for more.
Alright, this is where I triggered multiple eggs at once, because I had the resupply pod. I think maybe what I was doing was planning.
Bugs gathering in the tunnels
there we
around
go.
you. I can see them coordinating on the scanner. ETA 15 seconds, team.
And then, obviously, the next thing that I'm doing is retreating back to my resupply pod.
Alright, let's make Carl proud, boys.
Alright, so now this is where I would probably get another good segment. Alright, so let's back it up a little. Where are we at? Alright, we'll say 7:34. I like to go a second or two before, so then I can... to account for the fading and to make sure that I catch it. Yeah, so we'll go 7:34. And then we'll count from there. Or maybe we'll change it. We'll see. Because what would that time have been? Like 7:52? 7:50? Because I was reloading. Yeah, we'll say 7:51.
Out of my way.
Yeah, we'll say 7:51. We'll change it. And this is another thing that I'll often do, is I'll change the timing. Alright, so I'll cross out the 34. Well, I'll use my whiteout. And we'll say 7:51. This is 7:52. I can mingle that around. Because this is much better, because there's a longer stretch of continuous combat. Or near continuous, I should say. I'm not really counting the reload time in this, like... because that's kind of just inevitable.
Good thing they disintegrate after they die, or you wouldn't be able to walk 2 meters in that cavern by now.
Yeah, because this is near continuous. There's maybe a couple seconds in between. that I'm not gonna fuss too much about.
Booyah! Last one's a rockin' stone pace for the first round.
Yeah, so like until 9:14. So that's good. That's over a minute. So that's actually a good spot. It's a pretty good candidate. So I'm going to pull out that time calculator and see how long that segment is. So what was it? 9:14. That's where we decided to stop, and then we're at 7:51. What is that? Minute 23. That's actually almost the entire thing. That's pretty significant. That's a pretty good clip, size-wise. Well, let's head back to it.
You fight like a girl.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
We'll take it.
That's a very strong contender. We may actually be done, because we've got enough footage to breach a minute 52, I believe, actually. I'm going to use the time calculator to add it. So let's go... Let's add... Let's see. Oops. Let's see. We'll add 123 to this number. And then actually, what's 19 plus 22? Should probably get a regular calculator. As like a backup. Because the first two segments are less than a minute, so I'm just going to add them together into and then put that number into the calculator. Alright, so those two clips are 41 seconds. We are at 2:04, so we are actually over what we need. We are done. So let's go ahead and I'll put the music back on. And we will head out. We will exit this because we've got enough. There was a slight sluggishness, but that's actually normal in heavy combat, even in normal gameplay. So I'm not too upset about that. Oh shoot, that's my Roomba. Even through my noise-canceling headphones, I still heard my Roomba. My hearing is that sharp. I've been told I have really sharp hearing. Alright, so... we're gonna zoom out basically all the way so that it's easier to get back to the start. Roomba attack! Yep, I got a Roomba! His name is SCV from StarCraft 2. The SCV is the worker unit in that game, and it's kind of cute. That's how my Roomba got its name. Because you can name it in the app. Because I have an app for it, I can control him. Actually, 1 second, I'm gonna go block off my stairs because he likes to get trapped on the stairs. 1 second. I will be right back. Alright, the Roomba attack has been resolved. I've blocked off the stairs and I made sure he's good, so we're good. We're fine. Okay, back to it. Let's get the music back on and we will keep moving. Alright, so we've got our segments that we're gonna pull. Now, because we are slightly over what we need, I may trim the second clip off the back end a little bit. Or... Or maybe because the second and third clips would total 146, that would leave me with a 6-second gap. So maybe what I do is I don't use the first one. I take the second two and then just extend them a little bit. By like a second or two on both ends. Yeah, because that'd be a minute 46, and then we would need another 6 seconds. So maybe... And then this is the analysis that I go through when I do find my candidates. Yeah, because if I add a second on both ends, that gives me another 4. So if I add 2 seconds onto the front of both clips and a second onto the back, that'd be the 6-second gap filled. And then I wouldn't have to trim action out of the clips that I have. Because I hate doing that, so I'll go 450 to 515 for that first one. And then it would be 749, I believe. I'm actually gonna go back and check it, just to make sure of what it would have been. Yeah, 751, so then that would be 749. Okay. Yeah, that'd be 749 to what? 915. And then that would be the 6-second gap filled. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go do some chores before bed. Have a good day, Nova. Bye, ducks! Hopefully you enjoyed the show while you were here. Little behind-the-scenes work. I like behind-the-scenes stuff from streamers, and I probably should be doing it more often. I would love to do it more often. I'll have to think about doing this again sometime, maybe for another project. Once I start the next project, which I already have in mind. It's for a different game, but yeah, hang in there, ducks. Have a good one. Okay, so let's go ahead and clip those out. The new segments that I did. Yeah, Fun Stream said that some footage wasn't good quality. Yeah, it's really only the footage that I collected while you were here, while it was live. It's probably just because I was live and maybe my encoder and CPU were getting a bit overloaded. I'm sure off-stream I'd be able to make it look like what we just witnessed with the combat mobility footage, where the quality degrading is minimal. Because we barely saw it, which is fine. I'm not going to be able to get it perfectly every single time. I've kind of conceded to that a little bit. I'm trying to keep it reasonable. Because nothing is ever going to be perfect. If I had that kind of issue, or if I had that kind of goal, like, I'd be doing this project forever. I want it to be near perfect, we'll say. Okay, 4 minutes and 50 seconds. I'm gonna have to zoom in on this. Yeah, I take pride in the quality of the footage that I use, and I take it seriously. Ooh. Hey! Alright, there's the magnet. So that's 450 to 515. Okay. Good. Alright, we're gonna clip that. And then we're gonna skip to 749. It's gonna be up here somewhere. Kind of in this area. Okay, 749. So we can clip out this part. Then we're gonna go to 915, so we gotta come up a little bit more. I'm gonna go here of sorts. Turn off the magnet so then I can be more precise with the cuts. Okay. Then we're gonna turn the magnet back on for the razor so then we can cut it in the right spot. Okay, cool. So we've got that. Now we're gonna bring them over. I'm gonna turn off the magnet for a second just so they're not constantly getting pulled or attached to areas that I don't want them to be attached in. Alright, now we can zoom in a little bit. And get the segments plunked in. Where they need to go. Okay, so now we will turn the magnet on to make sure that they match up well. Beautiful. I'm gonna scooch it over a tad for the other one. Zoom out slightly. Okay, and then we're also going to check the back end, just make sure it looks okay. Beautiful. Alright, so it all matches up well. So from 1515, zoom in a little bit. Okay, 1515. We're gonna take the razor. We're gonna go to 1530, do the same thing. Take the razor. And we're gonna add the Gaussian blur on there. Beautiful! Alright, and that's the combat mobility build, so we're gonna bring it back. I'm gonna pull those images. You zoom out slightly so that it's easier to see. Yeah, I just love how freely you can make the zoom. Like, it's really nice. Just make sure it matches up. Perfect. And then I have the 0.65 zoom and the 600 on the position. Now where's the stats? Do the same thing. You just scroll up a little bit. And do what we did here, just to check it. Alright, now it's 0.4. And, what was it? Negative 750, I think? I'm gonna check the last one. Yeah, it was negative 750. Okay. Alright, negative 750, enter. Oh, that's too far. Yeah, because this one's a little bit bigger, so this is an example of when I may have to adjust. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, because the negative 500 is like the center, or like the ones that I've been doing. It's like the center of it. So that's why I had to make that adjustment for combat mobility. We're gonna go ahead and get those transitions plunked in. We're gonna start with the blur. I'm gonna start with the cross dissolves. I'm gonna paste that. Good. Alright, so we're good there. Alright, let's get all those, and then we'll do a quality check. Take off the magnet. Oh, that is gorgeous, you guys. That is beautiful. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Yeah, I'll fix all those later, maybe. I guess I might as well. Yeah, I like this better, because might as well fix it now while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm being very picky about this. Because I want this to look good. Yeah, because I have a goal release date for this project, and I'm really trying to get it there. Like, get this project to that point. Before that date. Yeah, these I'm gonna have to have edited before I can get the footage on there. Just so that it's not completely black over it. Yeah, I'll fix most of the other ones later. Or maybe I'll just do it now while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, just get everything done. Yeah, because this project is quite the undertaking. Never done anything like it before. Okay, so I don't have to zoom out as far. Yeah, the cropping is really nice for these. You can get pretty precise with this as well. Yeah, this took an ungodly amount of time to get all this recording done. And I've learned that I've got plenty more that needs to get done. Thought I was done with Phase 3, but I guess not. Not yet. This... Maybe I'm being too picky about this, but... I'm fine with it. I mean, any content creator should be particular about how they approach their work. I know I certainly am. At least I make an effort to be. Yeah, I'll leave that alone, because the conclusion I'm probably going to change. Alright, so now we are done with combat mobility. We are going to move on to neurotoxin payload, the second overclock. Let's get some notes together. Yeah, I didn't get this far last night when I was setting up for the stream, because I wanted to leave some of it open. So, how much footage do I need for this one? 1 minute 42 seconds. Okay, so slightly shorter than combat mobility. And this is actually also a good thing to kind of show you guys where I assess for when to blur in the build, because I haven't gotten this far yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the music, and we're gonna go through this clip, we're gonna let it play, and we're gonna find out when I start talking about the build, because that's when I like to blur it. It's not always right at the start. It's usually somewhere in the middle. Or, not really in the middle, but somewhere else in the clip itself. So we're gonna watch this through. Alright guys, we're gonna dive into the next overclock I'd like to showcase with the autocannon, and that is neurotoxin payload. This overclock is very closely tied with bullet hell as far as being my favorite overclock in this entire game. So what neurotoxin payload does is every shot has a 50% chance to inflict the neurotoxin damage over time effect. This slows enemies down and deals damage over time to them, 12 DPS for 10 seconds within the AoE radius. Your AoE radius is increased by 0.3 meters, your area damage is cut down by 6, and you also lose a full clip of your maximum ammo. This overclock actually got nerfed when Season 4 came out, but it's still very, very powerful, in my opinion. So the way I like to build it is basically how I built the autocannon without overclocks. Okay, so that's a point where I'm starting to talk about the build. We're going to back it up slightly. It was kind of around the mid-1720 mark on the Da Vinci timeline, in my opinion. So the way I like to build it is basically how I built. So I'm kind of thinking either 1725 or 1726. So I'm going to back it up again a little, in my opinion. So the way I like to build it is basically how I built. Let's go 1725, and then we'll extend it for about 10 to 15 seconds. We'll listen in on the next bit here. And then I'll go ahead and mute DaVinci again so that we're not hearing it constantly. Built the autocannon without overclocks with increased ammo, lighter barrel assembly, supercharged feed mechanism, and shrapnel rounds. Although in Tier 5, I like to take the suppressive fire to also inflict the fear effect. This is very, very powerful and absolutely insane. Yeah, let's go 1740. So that'll be about 15 seconds. Okay, so I'll make that as my note to blur in the build. Yeah, because with the overclocks, and even for the segments without, that's when I like to just have the footage playing, so then the build can be shown in action while I'm discussing it. And then, like I said, somewhere else in there is when I can blur in the build when I start talking about it. And so now we're going to go ahead and do the clip assessment. That is the next step. We need 1 minute and 42 seconds worth of footage. Yeah, and then I'll have to look at getting those autocannon clips. Or at least redoing them. Yeah, so it was feedback loop, damage resistance, and suppressive fire. Yeah, I'll have to redo those. Alright, so I was just making notes, making a spot. Let's go ahead and pause the music, and we're gonna look at the neurotoxin payload clip.
Ever wonder what happens when a team doesn't make it back? Well, here it is. We lost contact with this team a full 48 hours ago, and all we're picking up on scanners is derelict gear and radio static. I try not to think about it too much.
And then we got the jet boost. That was the thing with Season 4.
Gear and get it all home with the drop pod.
This is a little thing that players can collect, or can find. I think the odds are 1 in 3, approximately, of getting one of these. Don't quote me on that.
Safety protocol cleared. Grab a pair of jet boots.
The jet boots make it really easy to navigate. It's kind of a cute little thing. Yeah, and I'm actually doing a speed running trick of getting...
Help me with the minerals here.
Of getting the legs first, because once you get too close to the mule on a salvage, it triggers the mule horde.
On the way. Follow me, Bosco. Bosco, mine it.
And I'm honestly being a dummy using my zip lines here because I completely forgot I had jet boots. Clearly.
Come here, you flying tin.
I literally got them less than 30 seconds ago and I'm already forgetting. Classic. But then I think I don't know if I realized it or not. We're gonna find out. I didn't. I was a dummy. This is Nova blind. I wear glasses, so I'm practically blind anyway, but
I was born ready.
Alright, yeah, so we're looking for good segments here. Normally a mule horde spawns right about now, but
We got another one.
Speaking of which,
Nice. That terrain scanner upgrade came in handy, huh?
alright, so we're at this point, so I'm gonna back it up a little. So it's in the 2-minute segment somewhere. Oops. So I'm looking for the spot where it starts.
We got another one. Nice. That terrain scanner upgrade came in handy, huh?
Maybe like 217, just to allow for a gap slightly before. Yeah, this overclock is really, really powerful.
We are unbreakable. I called for Molly.
Alright, so I'm gonna back it up a little.
Unbreakable.
Yeah, let's go until 250. So that's good. That's, I think, 33 seconds. I need a minute 42.
We are unbreakable. I called for Molly. Zip line ready. Feeling much better.
Yeah, obviously we need a lot more footage than we have. Because I really don't like repeating clips, so I'm gonna be looking for more.
Reloaded.
You don't see any more bugs coming, do you? I think the drop pod is interfering with the bug scanner, so I won't be able to warn you about any swarms coming your way. Stay vigilant and listen closely.
Yeah, I'm using my shield to
Extra
just kind of
legs
get
probably
through
mean
the
we're missing a
wall.
mini mule somewhere, but like I said, not my problem. Come back to the pod with the ones we do have, though.
Yeah, get me through the wall. So that I can keep going.
Shields ready again.
Yeah, it's kind of... This is a pretty icy zone, so it's very easy to slide. It's like that I remember I had Joes. Oh jeez, sorry for the mic bump. Oh, this is another good spot, potentially. Where are we at? 431? Maybe? Yeah, we'll say 431.
Alright, the mules are situated and good to go. Get back over here to the drop pod and find that uplink module. I need you to manually start it back up so we can get the drop pod connected with the space ring again.
We're on a resupply.
Hold on, miners. The
Saws are on the way.
Ready again.
Lol.
Supplies. Supplies.
Okay, so the
Hold on,
combat
miners.
slows
the saws
down.
are on the
Right about here.
We're on a resupply.
Hold on, miners. The saws are...
So it's basically after I killed the Praetorian.
We're on a resupply.
Let's say 502? Yeah, after I killed the swarmers.
I ordered a resupply.
Yeah, we'll say 502. How long is that piece? Let's see, if it's 5 minutes 2 seconds, and we're looking at 4:31 is the starting point. That's a 31-second clip. Oh, excuse me, goodness gracious. So we're up to about a minute, slightly over. We still need more, though. If we're gonna plug the gap completely.
The saws are on the way! Supplies. I mean supplies.
Hey, yo, the pizza here. Yeah, just terraforming a little bit. Yeah, so now this is kind of just the setup phase. I'm listening for an enemy that's burying.
Forward! Loot bug down.
And I just randomly get shot. Ooh! This could be a good one. After Bosco picks me up. Yeah, like really, really close. Yeah, like 619. That'd be pretty close.
I love these things! Loot bug eliminated! Grabbing ammo.
This might actually be a split segment. Excuse me.
I love these things!
Any 634.
Loot bug eliminated! Grabbing ammo.
And 644. To what?
Never felt better.
$657. I'm not sure I like that.
Locked and loaded.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a question mark by those. Because I'm not really sure I want to use them because they're so short. I'd rather have segments a little bit longer than that. Yeah, once we get into the uplink phase of this, we'll probably get more. Yeah, let's knock this out. See if this gets us any better footage.
That uplink needs your suit's connection to the rig to send data.
Okay.
Stay close, and we'll be done before you know it.
Yeah, this is definitely good. Yeah, let's maybe do 819. Yeah, let's go with 819 until what? Get the starting point.
We're about halfway there, guys. Keep it up.
I'll never get the smell out of my arm.
75% team, hold on. We've almost got you.
This might be it.
That's all you got.
Yeah, this is good.
Triangulation complete.
This might even be the whole segment.
We're sending in the fuel
Depending on
cells
how
so
much
we can power
longer
it up.
this
Get
goes
ready.
on for.
For Carl! You are a coward.
No? Yeah, let's...
Triangulation complete. I have full control of the launch from here now.
Well, I think we
We're
got the
sending in the fuel
footage, though.
cells so we can power it up. Get ready. We're sending in the fuel cell.
Yeah, I think we might have it.
Triangulation complete. I have full control of the launch from here now. We're sending in the fuel cells so we can power it up. Get ready.
Yeah.
We're sending in the fuel cells so we can power it up. Get ready.
Yeah, let's go until 9:30. I think that's a minute 11. Yeah, because that's a nice even number. Because I think I have enough then, actually. Yeah. So we've got a segment that's 30, and in a minute 42. And I've got a 33, a 31, and a 1 minute 11. Yeah, so I have enough footage. Alright, so let's head back to the editor. Yeah, it's a little bit of a rinse and repeat process here, but at the very least then, I can still do quality control. Even with having a consistent system. Let's turn the music back on. It's not all bad to have a bit of a cut and paste system, because then that helps. It helps me personally, and I'm sure it helps many other creators out there, to be more consistent in the quality of the content they deliver to their audiences. Of course, being open to changes, as the channel grows, as the audience grows, as they start to learn what works and what doesn't. But it's not always bad to have a set routine. Or a set system. So let's go ahead and plunk those clips into the editor. So we're gonna mute this because we don't need it. Yeah, we're gonna bring in neurotoxin payload. I don't know why there's a 6th video track and a 4th audio track. I can just delete it. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna de-link those, cut that out. We're gonna grab... Yeah, we'll grab the 2nd one and the 5th one. The 3rd and 4th ones I'm not gonna use. Because those segments were kind of short, even when put together. I mean, one of them was 15, one of them was 13, but... I'd like to showcase the fear effect a little bit better, so I'm gonna drop those out. Alright, so let's search for the segments we need. We got 431, so that's over here somewhere. Alright, so there's that, the magnet. And then we're looking for 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Beautiful. We'll trim that first part out. And then we're going all the way to the 8-minute mark. We're looking for 8:19, so that's probably gonna be somewhere in here. In the middle. Alright, then we'll go ahead and cut that segment out. And then we're looking for 9 minutes and 30 seconds. So we gotta scoop over here. Okay. Good. Alright, we will cut that out. Turn off this magnet. So we can move the segments around. Oops. Fix that. Okay. Oh, we're close. Alright, now I could use the magnets to make sure these go together real nicely. Just gonna make sure it matches up on the back end. Perfect. Alright, let's get this stuff plunked in. And then I think we'll end off the stream there. We're looking pretty good. I'm making some good progress. We got done all the way through the autocannon during this stream, and we finished off the minigun, so that's actually 4 segments and probably about a dozen clips. And then I'm gonna hop out, go get some food, maybe do my grocery shopping, go grab my list, and come back and do some more. And then maybe we'll do a Titanfall Tuesday stream. Actually, we will do a Titanfall Tuesday. Because it's Tuesday, and why not? So, but we'll finish up editing this segment, though, before we leave things off. Alright, so we're looking for 1725. I'm being picky. I'm being picky. I'm being way pickier than I probably need to be, but you know what? I don't care. Well, I do care, but I also am picky. Alright, 1740. Come on. No! I don't want 4001, I want 40! Come on. There we go. Alright, so we'll go ahead and add the blur there in that segment. Alright, so let's grab our build. Where did I put it? Alright, so that's our build. Zoom out a bit. Alright, we're gonna grab the neurotoxin payload stats. Do the same thing. I'm gonna do our shrinking and movement. Up and moving it around. Beautiful. I like that. So let's go ahead and get those transitions in. Let's go ahead and copy and paste. Alright, so we've got those. Now I need to grab the other cross dissolve. Oops. Alright. So that is that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Enjoyed seeing the editing, how I edit this project, how I've been doing on it. It's very much still a big work in progress. I have much to do yet. I still have the Hurricane, the 3 secondaries, the grenades, perks, and then Hazard 4 and 5 survival tips I still need to complete. So there's quite a bit of work left to be done. But over the last several days, I've made considerable progress and figured out really what I want. Really what I want to see and what I'm hoping will go over well with the audience. I will catch you guys later for Titanfall Tuesday. I'm not exactly sure when I'll be on stream for that. But nonetheless, I'll see you guys then.